Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and officially start. So we are going to start with the warm-up as usual. Good morning and good afternoon to the afternoon students. So I am going to share the warm-up that we have for today. Okay, as you can see, we have 4 questions. Today, as you know from today's agenda, well, let me write it here just in case. So we're going to see weekend activities, and we're also going to see the simple past, and the simple past includes regular and irregular verbs. So that is pretty much today's agenda. The weekend activities is the vocabulary, and the simple past is the grammar. So that's what we're going to see today. So in these questions, you can see that we have the simple past. So let me do this. Okay, so who had, I'm sorry, no, this is not it. Excuse me, I'm confusing the questions. Okay, here we go again. Okay, there we go. So we have 4 questions, as you can see. Let me just get them a little spaced out. Okay, so question number 1 is asking, what did you do on Holy Week? So Holy Week is was last week for us. Esto es Semana Santa. So you're going to say, what did you do on Holy Week? I'm going to give you some examples of this. So, but did you go anywhere interesting? Where? Also going to give you examples of this, but did you go anywhere interesting? It's a yes or no question. So you say, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. And if the answer is yes, I did, you say the place. But I'm going to show you. Did you watch any movies or read any books? Is also a yes or no question. So in that case, you say, yes, I did, no, I didn't. And then if your answer is yes, I did, you have to get specific and say which ones. And then number 4 is, what did you do yesterday? I'm going to give you some examples too, but yesterday is, for example, you can say, I took English class. Okay, so starting with number 1, I'm going to give you some examples, like I said. So what did you do on Holy Week? You can say things like, I went to the beach, or you can say, I stayed home, right? Like you stayed in your house. Or you can say, I watched TV. You can say, I ate a lot of sweet beans. Sweet beans es habichuelas con dulces. So I ate a lot of sweet beans. These are some examples of some things that you can say. Of course, you can say, I read a book, I rode a motorcycle, I went to the supermarket, etc., etc. So you can see here that we have these verbs. I went, I stayed, I watched, and I ate. So these verbs are in the simple past. This is something that we're going to see today, but in the simple past, we have regular and irregular verbs. So here, stayed and watched are regular verbs because they end in ed, and went and ate are irregular verbs. They don't follow any rules. But that we're going to see at today, later today. So number 2, like I said, this is a yes or no question. So did you go anywhere interesting? Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. No, I didn't. If your answer is yes, so let me, if your answer is yes, yes, I did. Okay. Have 2 people that are late. If your answer is yes, I did, you have to specify. So I went to And then you have to specify, I went to the beach. I went to the countryside. I went to my grandfather's house. I went to my mother's house. So, hello, Nefresi and Lauren. You are late.
Hello, teacher. Good
It's late.
morning.
Good morning. It's 10:11. What happened, Nefresi? You're very late.
Okay, teacher.
No, not okay, Nefresi. You usually do that. Okay. Nefresi, you have a lot of days that you turn out very late to the class. So if that keeps happening, I'm going to have to report you.
Teacher,
So, yes, Lauren?
my internet is bad.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Anyways, as I was saying, here we have, did you go anywhere interesting and where? So yes, I did or no, I didn't are your two options because this is a yes or no question. And if the case is yes, I did, you have to specify. I went to the beach. I went to the countryside. I went to my grandmother's house, etc. Number 3 is also a yes or no question. So did you watch any movies or read any books? Yes, I did, or no, I didn't. And the same thing happens here. If you say, yes, I did, if your answer is affirmative, you have to specify. So which ones? So here you specify. So I watched or I read, and then you say which ones. This verb is interesting. So like I said, today we're going to see regular and irregular verbs. En el caso de read, el caso de read se escribe igual en el pasado y en el presente, pero se pronuncia diferente. So read in the present, read in the past, como el color red, la pronunciación, en el pasado. I read a lot of books. En el presente digo, I read books, I read a book every day. But in the past, I say, I read a book yesterday. Lo que significa que es un verbo irregular because it doesn't follow the normal rules. Read, read. But we're going to see that today. So anyways, you were going to say, I watched, and the movie that you watched, I watched Avengers, I watched The Hunger Games. And then what book you read, if you read something, I read 100 Years of Solitude or something like that. And then number 4, what did you do yesterday? I can give you some examples here as well. So I took English class. I went to the supermarket. These are some examples, okay? But you're going to be original. I took English class. I went to the supermarket. I did my homework. I visited my grandparents. Okay, those are some examples. Okay, yes, Nefresi, but like I said, this is something that happens often with you. So that's why I'm mentioning that. Anyways, so I took English class is a verb in the past. Took, went is in the past, did is in the past, visited is also in the past. So these are some examples, but I want you to be original. I'm just giving you some examples. I went to the beach, I stayed home, I watched TV, I ate a lot of sweet beans. What did you do yesterday? I took English class, I went to the supermarket, I did my homework, I visited my grandparents. So all of these verbs are in the past, which is what we're going to see today. Any questions here? Any questions? I'm going to erase my examples, not that, so you guys can be original. This I'm going to leave there because this is a yes or no question, and this is like the what you have to answer. So I'm going to give you a few minutes so you complete this right now. Take your notebook or a piece of paper, your cell phone, your computer, wherever you want to write. Take a few minutes to do this. So when you finish, tell me I finished. So take a few minutes to do this. Go ahead. Answer the questions. Like I said, write them down. Escriban sus respuestas, and then you're going to share them with your partner. When you finish, tell me, teacher, I finished. I'm actually going to send them in the chat too, just in case you need them. Okay, there you go. And for the afternoon students, the same thing. Write your own answers. Okay, let me actually pause it. Okay, so let's go ahead and correct these questions. So I'm going to be asking some of you. Well, let me copy them now. Okay, so let me start by asking Gloria. Question number 1, Gloria. What did you do on Holy Week?
I did my homework.
Okay, so Gloria did her homework. Okay, that's good. So let me ask Giselle. Giselle, did you go anywhere interesting?
Yes, I did. I went to Country State and go to the right, and I went out with my.
So do you say you went to the countryside?
Yes.
Is that what you said, Giselle? Yes, you went to the
and
countryside?
Go to the right.
And to the where? The audio is a little, it's not very good, but that's okay. So yes, she did. She went to the countryside. So now let me ask Nefresi. Nefresi, did you watch any movies or read any books?
Yes, I watch it.
What did you watch?
Yes, I watch it.
Okay, what is the movie or the TV show that you watched? What movie did you watch?
They watch it. Las Brujas.
Oh, The Witches? Okay, that's okay. The Witches. Okay, so Nefresi watched The Witches. The Witches movie, we can say. So yes, she did. Nefresi watched The Witches. So in the case that you're answering in the first person, of course, you would say, yes, I did. So Lauren, what did you do yesterday?
I work, eat, sleep.
Okay, Lauren worked yesterday. Yeah, we can just say you worked. Or if we want to say you slept, so Lauren slept a lot, for example, yesterday. Okay, so yeah, we're going to see this today, but to tell you one more time, we have the verbs in the past: did, went, watched. In this case, we have worked and slept in the past. Did is irregular, went is irregular, slept is also irregular, and watched and worked are both regular verbs. But we're going to see that today. So thank you guys for helping me complete the warm-up. Let's go ahead and start with today's vocabulary. So the vocabulary that we're going to see is weekend activities. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And the first thing that I'm going to show you is this short video. It's 5 minutes, as you can see. And this video is talking about free time activities. So after the video, I'm going to show you some other activities that we could do like on the weekend, because free time activities are mostly on the weekend because we have more free time during the weekends. So I just want you guys to pay attention.
Today I'll tell you how.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So like I said, these are some free time activities that we have seen in the past, but we're going to see this vocabulary again.
How to speak about free time activities in English. The British and Americans like to do a lot of different things in their free time, such as doing sports, taking photos, watching TV, listening to music, reading books, playing different games, and DIY. DIY means do it yourself, different activities and things that people can do without any help of professionals or with their own hands. Let's look at the most popular activities in the UK. Most of all, the British like watching TV. Spending time with friends and family takes the second place. Listening to music and shopping are also very popular. In the USA, the picture is pretty much the same. Watching TV is number one, reading goes to the second place, followed by computer and the internet, and spending time with family and friends is number 4. When we talk about an activity, we need to add the suffix ing to a verb. For example, reading, cooking, dancing, collecting. This form is called the gerund. The gerund often takes the third position in the sentence. It is the object. For example, I like cooking. Number 1 is I, number 2 like, number 3 cooking. The gerund is also number 1 in the sentence or the subject. For example, watching TV is not my favorite activity. Number 1 is watching TV, number 2 is not, number 3 my favorite activity. Some activity words go together with the verbs do, go and play, such as do sports, go swimming, do karate. For example, a lot of people in the UK and the USA do different sports. They go swimming, play football or do karate. More phrases with do. Repeat after me. Do.
Repeat after him in this part, guys. So repeat.
More phrases with do. Repeat after me. Do sports. Do gardening. Do arts and crafts. Do karate. Do judo. Do aerobics. Do athletics. Do gymnastics. When you talk about shopping, you can say do their shopping, do my shopping, or go shopping. More phrases with go. Repeat after me. Go shopping. Go swimming. Go jogging. Go running. Go skiing. Go sailing. Go fishing. Jogging and running are synonyms. If you say go jogging or go running, the meaning is practically the same. We use the verb play to talk about team games. For example, play volleyball, play football, play golf, play tennis, play chess, play board games. We always use there in the phrases go to the cinema, go to the theater, go to the gym. Sometimes American and British words are different, but their meaning is the same. For example, Americans go to the movies, the British go to the cinema. We say see a film or watch a film when we mean purpose. For example, every weekend we go to the cinema to see a new film. Or, every weekend we go to the cinema to watch a new film. Both variants are correct. but we use only the verb watch when we speak about process. For example, I like watching films at home.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and continue by telling you some other weekend activities that I have in this presentation. So please pay attention. Okay, so here we have some weekend activities. So I'm going to tell you some of them and then I'm going to ask you to tell me those. So you have to pay attention on this part. The first weekend activity or things that we can do in the weekend is to answer emails. This is something very common in the United States, especially if like with work, you get a lot of emails and things like that. So people usually take, their free time to do this. And also personal emails. So answer emails, stand in line. This happens in the weekends if you go to like the supermarket or I don't know, to the movie theater or something like that. Sometimes you do have to stand in line. So pretty much you wait in the line, like you can see in the picture. Go grocery shopping. So remember the grocery store, that is part of the vocabulary that we saw yesterday, the stores, is like a supermarket, but is smaller than a supermarket. And here we have work or study, that people do like study mostly in your free time or in the weekend, it could be. So work or study. Here we have clean the house, that people use the weekend for, clean the house. Exercise. These activities are less similar to the ones that you watch in the video, because these activities are like things that people do in the weekend, not necessarily on your free time, but some of them in your free time, but just in the weekend in general. Exercise, or we can say work out. Wash the car. Do laundry. Do laundry es lavar la ropa, or lavar, it's the same. So you do laundry. Visit relatives. Relatives is family members. Okay, so my family. Visit my family is the same. They are synonyms. Relatives, family, so synonyms. So the same thing. Visit my families. So clean the house, exercise, wash the car, do laundry, or visit relatives. So let's see now your memory. Let's see how good your memory is. I'm going to show you the picture and you're going to tell me what activity it is. The same pictures that I just showed you. So what is this?
Clean the
Clean
house.
the house.
Clean the house.
Clean the house. He's cleaning the house. What is this?
Do laundry.
Do laundry. She is doing the laundry. What is this?
Wash the car.
Wash the car. He is washing the car. What is this?
Visit relatives.
Visit.
Family.
Visit relatives. That is the same as to say visit my family. It's the same. Visit relatives, visit my family. What is this?
Answer
emails.
Answer emails.
email.
Stand in line.
Stand in line. Those people are standing in the line. They are waiting in line or standing in line.
Go grocery shopping.
Go grocery shopping. Very good. We can say go shopping, like in the video, they were saying go shopping, but in this case, it's more specific because he's at the grocery store. So go grocery shopping.
Work or studying.
Work or study. So that man is working or that man is studying. Okay, so now it says exercise your memory. So now you guys are going to write down which of these activities do you do on the weekends. So write some of the activities. You can write 2 or 3 right now. So write them in a piece of paper, in your notebook, in your computer, wherever you want. So 2 o 3 de esas actividades que acabamos de ver, escríbanla. So go ahead, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. It's 10:43 at 10:45, 2 minutes for this.
I finished.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I said until. Yeah, I said until 45. So I'm going to ask some of you. So Gloria, go ahead. Tell me one that you wrote down.
Go grocery shopping, clean the house, and visit relatives.
Okay, go grocery shopping, visit relatives, and clean the house. Winifred, what about you?
Clean house, wash the car, go grocery shopping.
Very good. And Dauri, I see that you raised your hand, so go ahead.
Wash the car and clean the house.
Yes, clean the house, wash the car. Okay, very good job, everybody. So now the last thing on this part is that we have 3 questions, as you can see there, that you're going to answer in a small group. Actually, you're going to answer them in a pair. So the questions are, what do you do on weekends? Do you like doing these activities? Why not? What other activities do you do? So notice that this is the simple present, so you can answer with the simple present, but this is going to be speaking, okay? You don't have to write anything. This is going to be a discussion with your partner. No tienen que escribir nada in this case, so you can just interact. Take a picture, please go ahead and take a picture. So you interact with these questions. So for the afternoon students, you guys can go ahead and write them down since you cannot interact with a partner, so you can write them down, your own answers, you can write them down. So are you ready with the picture? Okay, so you're going to go ahead and share the screen with your partner. Wait, okay, let me pause this. Okay, so I'm going to ask some of you the questions. So I'm going to start with Marjolise. So Marjolise, what do you do on weekends?
Clean the house, go grocery shopping, and do laundry.
Do laundry. Very good. So those are the activities that you do. Rudy, what about you? What activities do you do? That's okay, Lauren. Rudy?
I do visit a family.
Okay, so yeah, okay, visit family. Let's say question number 2. Do you like doing that activity? Visiting family?
Yeah, yes, I like.
So yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that's okay, you can leave it there. So Yerlisa, what other activities that they did, maybe I didn't mention in the presentation, what other activities do you do, Yerlisa?
I cook weekends. I visit my grandfather.
Okay.
I play with my sister. I clean the house.
Yeah, very good. Those are all very good activities. Okay, guys, so thank you for helping me complete this part. Okay, guys, so we are going to continue with the grammar part of the day. And like I was saying at the beginning of the class, the grammar that we're going to see today is simple past. So the simple past tense. So before that, though, I have a little conversation related to that I'm going to show you. So this is the conversation. As you can see, it says, I didn't study. That is the title of the conversation. I didn't study. So I'm going to read it for you, and then I'm going to let you read it by yourselves. So listen and read. Hi, Jennifer. Did you have a good weekend? Well, I had a busy weekend, and I feel a little tired today. Really? Why? Well, on Saturday, I exercised in the morning. Then my roommate and I cleaned, did laundry, and shopped. And then I visited my parents. So what did you do on Sunday? I studied for the test all day. Oh no, do we have a test today? I didn't study. I just watched television all weekend. So now I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes so you can read this conversation by yourselves. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. So go ahead and read it, and then I'm going to show you some questions about it. So just go ahead and read it. So lean la conversación by yourselves. 2 minutes for this. Okay, so I do have some questions about this conversation. As you can see, this is the topic of the conversation. I didn't study, and we have 4 questions. So question number 1, who had a busy weekend? Who studied for the test all day? Who watched TV? So Michael or Jennifer. And then question number 4, the first part is a yes or no question. Is this conversation in the past, in the present, or in the future? And you have to say, how do you know? So like, what is the reason that you think that it's in the past, the present, or the future? So this is going to be individual. So go ahead. This is for right now. Let me share the questions in the chat as well. So there you go. They are in the chat. So these questions, you're going to do them right now. So go ahead. I'm going to give you a few minutes so you can complete them. Afternoon students, the same for you. Go ahead and complete them. You can pause the video right now and complete the questions. Okay, so Gloria, go ahead. Why is the conversation in the past?
In the past, because the verbs are in the past.
The verbs are in the past. Very good. That is why the conversation is in the past, because you can see here, for example, did, this is indicates that it's the past, but the verbs, like Gloria said, had is in the past, exercised is in the past, did, cleaned, shopped, visited, studied, watched, all of that is in the past. And I didn't study is the past in the negative. We're going to see all of this. So it's the simple past. And the other 2, like you said, 1 and 2 were Jennifer, and number 3 was Michael. So now let's go ahead and practice the conversation. So please take a picture of the conversation, and you're going to practice them in the breakout rooms. So take a screenshot, please. In the case for the afternoon students, you can practice reading it out loud by yourselves. So do you have the picture?
Yes.
Okay, so practice the conversation. So 1 person is going to be Michael, 1 person is going to be Jennifer. Let's go ahead and practice this conversation. So let me share my screen one more time. I'm going to select 2 people. So Dowdy, you're going to be Michael, and Jerlisa, you are Jennifer. So go ahead.
Hi, Jennifer. Did you have a good week?
Well,
I had a bus weekend. I am feeling a little tired today.
Really? Beef? Beef?
We're on Saturday. I is exercise.
Exercise.
Exercise. I exercise in the morning. Then my room and I clean the laundry and shopping. And they are visiting my parents.
So what did you do on Sunday?
I studied for the test hard day.
Uh, oh no. Do you week have a test today?
And continue. I didn't.
Um, I don't study or watch one television all weekend.
Weekend. Yes, thank you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the simple past. So you can see here, we have the simple past tense. So this is like the use of the simple past. So we use the simple past tense to express an activity that was completed, that was completed in the past. So for example, like the examples we saw in the warm-up, like would you say, I did my homework yesterday? That is an activity that was completed in the past. So that's the main use of the simple past. So we have three different types of sentences. We have affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences that are the questions. So I'm going to share my whiteboard so we can see that part. Okay, so simple, the simple past. Okay, so like I was saying, we have affirmative, we have negative, and we have interrogative. That are the questions. So I'm going to write a small formula over here. So for the affirmative, we have, this is the formula, we have the subject, that can be a subject pronoun or a noun, and then we have the verb in the past, okay? So we have the subject and we have the verb in the past. That is like the little formula. In the case of the negative, we have the subject as well, and then we have didn't, that is an auxiliary, and then we have the verb in base form. This is very important. This is very important, and I'm going to show you examples of this, but this is important because here the verb is in the base form. What did I do? Oh my goodness. Okay, what is this? Okay, excuse me. So subject plus verb. Okay, so you can see that here we have subject and then we have a verb in the past, but here we have subject plus didn't plus verb in the base form. Si se recuerdan, un verbo en su base form es simplemente un verbo sin conjugar, un verbo solo, sin nada agregado. And the reason that we have a verb in the base form in the negative is because didn't already indicates that it's the simple past. So didn't es un auxiliar y ya me dice que es el simple past, so I don't need anything else. So in the case of the interrogative, we have did plus subject plus the verb in base form. Aquí ocurre lo mismo that in the other previous cases. So here the verb is also going to be in the base form. So as you can see, the verb in the base form. Because did already tells me that this is the simple past. And let me tell you some examples with that. So I have here the affirmative. Let's say I cleaned the house yesterday, right? Let's just say I cleaned the house yesterday. And let's say Gloria watched TV. Okay, so those are two examples in the past. So you can see that we have cleaned. Actually, let me change this verb. So Gloria ate pasta last weekend, right? Something like that. So Gloria ate pasta last weekend. So the reason I changed it is because cleaned is a regular verb and ate is an irregular verb. And I'm going to explain about that. But right now you can notice that cleaned is in the past and ate is in the past. The verbs are in the past. So remember that for the simple present, for the simple present, yo diría algo así como que I clean the house. I clean the house every day. Eso sería el simple present, ¿ok? I clean the house every day y el verbo estaría en el presente, por supuesto. En el caso de la tercera persona sería she cleans. Esto es el simple present. But in the case of the simple past, en el caso del simple past sería el mismo verbo para todo, o sea, no se conjuga, sería I cleaned, pero para tercera persona, I cleaned también, o sea, I cleaned o she cleaned, he cleaned. El verbo no se conjuga porque está en el pasado, so we just put it in the past. So I cleaned my house yesterday. Okay, so in the negative, these same examples, I cleaned the house, ahora digo I didn't clean, y noten aquí como el verbo clean is in the base form, I didn't clean the house. So I didn't clean the house. No puedo decir I didn't clean the house. No, ya no tengo que poner ese verbo en el pasado, no es necesario, porque didn't me dice que está en el pasado. It's an auxiliary verb that tells me that it's in the past. So do I say Gloria didn't eat last weekend? No, no digo eso tampoco because ate is in the past. What is the present of ate, or the base form is eat. So Gloria didn't eat last weekend. I didn't clean the house. So clean is in the base form. Eat is also in the base form. And didn't already tells me that is the negative. I'm sorry, the past. It is the negative, but it already indicates that it's in the past. So, como les dije, no importa la persona que sea, it's the same for all the persons. And in the case of the question, so did you clean the house? Did you clean the house yesterday? And then Gloria, no, sorry, this is the question. Did Gloria, or did she eat last weekend? So did she eat, oh, well, sorry, pasta. Did she eat pasta last weekend? Gloria didn't eat, you didn't eat pasta. It's not that you didn't eat, it's that you didn't eat pasta. So did you clean the house yesterday? Did she eat pasta last weekend? So notice that clean and eat son los verbos, pero no están en el pasado porque ya did me dice que está en el pasado. Si esto fuera el simple present, pues en lugar de did diría do. Do you clean the house every day? Yesterday es un time expression for the past, que también cambiaría si fuera simple present, but we can identify that it's a simple past in the interrogative because we have did. So in the case of the short answers over here, you can ask me any questions if you have them. So in the case of the short answers, we would say for the first one, so yes, I did. No, I didn't. And in the case of the third person, yes, she did. No, she didn't. Okay. You can see there. So this is the same for all the persons. So I did, you did, he did, she did, we did, they did. So it doesn't change. And the same with the negative, I didn't, you didn't, etc., etc., etc. And for the verbs, I cleaned, you cleaned, she cleaned, he cleaned. Lo que les quiero decir con eso es que no cambia, o sea, es lo mismo para todo. So, es diferente al simple present, que hay que conjugar en la tercera persona, aquí no. Aquí solo hay que ponerlo en el pasado. So just the verb in the past. So any questions so far? Any questions? So let me put them in little squares. Okay. Okay, so like I was saying, we do have some regular and irregular verbs in the simple past. So let me go ahead and write them here. So regular verbs, and then we have irregular verbs, and these are in the simple past. I'm going to show you another list, but I'm going to give some basic examples over here. So basically, the regular verbs end in ed. So that is the way to recognize these verbs because they end in ed. But the thing with the irregular verbs is that they don't have a rule. So they don't follow specific rules. Algunos se parecen de los irregulares, pero en general no siguen ninguna regla. So these verbs, you have to practice them in order to master them. No voy a decir que tienen que memorizárselos, porque tienen que memorizárselos, pero no como embotellándoselos, sino practicándolos in order to learn them, because they are very different. So I'm going to give you some examples. So with regular verbs, we have, for example, clean, cook, wait, call, stop. And there are some rules with the regular verbs. Sí que tenemos algunas reglas con los verbos regulares que les voy a mostrar in the presentation. But for now, I'm just giving you some general examples. Clean, cook, wait, call, stop, hug. Let me leave it there. So in the case of clean, the past is cleaned, ends in ed. Cook is cooked, ends in ed. Wait is waited, ends in ed. Call is called, ed. Stop, stopped, ed. Hugged, hugged, ed. Then if we say play, played, ed. Yeah. So those are some examples of the regular verbs. Some examples of the irregular verbs: we have eat, we have forgive, we have go, we have take, we have give, we have yes, Giselle, have.
Teacher, de mayoría de verbos se le pone entonces ed.
Yes, I'm going to show you the rules for that. But yes, the majority of the verbs is ed. Well, I wouldn't say maybe the majority, it depends. No necesariamente la mayoría. Es muchos se le pone ed y es más fácil de recordar, pero también hay muchos verbos irregulares. So it's like, you know, it depends. It depends on the verb, and you need to practice. That the only thing I can really tell you is to practice. I'm going to show you the list. Les puse dos listas bastante extensas de estos verbos, and I'm going to show them to you so you can practice. But right now I'm just giving you like a little example. So, okay, so eat, ate in the past, forgive, forgave in the past. Oh, let me also put swim, swim and drink. These are some irregular ones. So go is went, take is took, give is gave, have is had, swim is swum, and drink is drank. So you can see that they don't really follow a rule. These ones don't really follow a rule. Esos no siguen como una regla en específico, porque dicen ate, forgave, went, took. Algunos son similares, por ejemplo, estos dos, swim and drink, ambos se le cambia la I por una A, so swim, swam, drink, drunk, but there is not a rule. No hay una regla con estos. Con los regulares sí hay reglas, que se las voy a mostrar. But with the irregular ones, we don't really have like rules, a set of specific rules. We don't have that. So like I said, these are some examples. I'm going to show you some more examples. You can take a picture of this if you want, so you can have this formula. This is like, you know, simplified because this is the first time that we're seeing this topic. And I'm sorry for the Spanish, but that's also the reason that I'm doing it. But anyways, you can take a picture of that. Any questions here? Questions here? Okay, so I'm going to continue with the presentation. That is just more examples of this same topic. So, excuse me. Okay, let me go ahead and share the screen. Okay, so I already showed you the affirmative, negative, and interrogative. So these are some examples. They went to school, they didn't go to school. Les di la versión contraída, they didn't. La versión completa is did not, but it's more common to use the contraction. They didn't go to school. Did they go to school? So you can see that we have went, que es go in the past, pero en el caso del the negative tenemos go en el base form porque didn't or did not ya me dice que es pasado. So I just have to put the verb in the base form. They didn't go to school. And the question, the same thing happens. Did they go to school? Pueden ver que aquí también está en su base form porque did me indica que está en el pasado. So went, go, go. So he swam, he didn't swim. Did he swim? So the same thing here, swam in the past because it's affirmative, swim in the base form because didn't already tells me that this is the past, and swim in the question in also the base form because did is my auxiliary that is telling me that it's the past. En el caso de esta pregunta, where did he swim? Es un WH question. Hasta ahora les mostré yes or no questions. So en el caso de WH question, lo único que cambia es que se le agrega el WH word antes del resto de la pregunta. So where did he swim? And of course, we do need specific information, whereas in did he swim, we just say, yes, he did, or no, he didn't. But where did he swim? We want specific information. He swam in the Olympics, for example. So we have a question. This is more examples. What did they do yesterday? They ate an ice cream. So ate is the past of eat. So these are some key words. Esas son time expressions en el pasado. So, you know, time expressions in the past, como con el simple present, saben que podemos decir every day, every week, etc. But with the simple past, this is the things we say yesterday, the day before yesterday, antes de ayer, that would be the day before yesterday, last week, last night, 2 days ago on Saturday, because this is all in the past. If I say I ate lasagna on Saturday or last Saturday, is of course talking about the past. Or I watched TV last night, I slept last week, etc. So these are some very important words. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, last week, last night, 2 days ago, on Saturday. So this is the examples that we saw before. So for example, here we can say she did laundry, he washed his car, they visited relatives, he went grocery shopping, he cleaned the house. So you can see here, he washed the car, they visited relatives, he went grocery shopping, he cleaned the house. So como les decía, de verbos regulares e irregulares, los regulares terminan en ed y les voy a mostrar las reglas de los irregulares, y los irregulares no tienen una regla específica. You just have to practice them. So these are some rules for the regular ones. So if a verb ends in E, we add ed. So si el verbo termina en E, se agrega una D, and that's it. So liked, arrived, decided. And the rule number 2, if a verb ends in a consonant plus Y, we eliminate the Y, or we change the Y to I and add ed. So lo mismo como ocurre en el plural o en la conjugación de verbos en el simple present, cuando termina en consonante más Y, eliminamos la Y, pero en este caso ponemos IED porque es el pasado y todavía es regular, ¿ok? Esto sigue siendo regulares, pero con unas reglas específicas. So carried, tried, studied. Rule number 3, if a verb ends in vowel plus Y, we add ed. So aquí simplemente se agrega la ed. So play, played, stay, stayed, enjoy, enjoyed. And rule number 4, if a verb ends in a consonant, vowel consonant, double the final consonant and add ed. So si el verbo termina en consonante, vocal, consonante. Como pueden ver, H, U, G es consonante, vocal, consonante. L is a consonant, A is a vowel, N is a consonant, T is a consonant, O is a vowel, P is a consonant. So, en esos casos se pone doble consonante con la que termina. So, hog, hogged, plant, plant, stop, stopped. So, pueden ver que la consonante está dos veces, por eso, porque termina en consonante, vocal, consonante. So, todavía todos esos ejemplos siguen siendo regulares, pero son reglas dentro de los regulares. Because, like I said, the regular verbs do have some rules. So, hog, hogged, plant, plant, stop, stopped. And rule number 5, for all the other verbs, we add ed. So, para todos los demás regulares, se agrega ed. So, watch, watched, asked, cleaned, cleaned. So, you can see there, like, derive, derived, decide, decided, carry, carried, try, tried, study, studied. The pronunciation changes a little bit depending on the verb, but we're going to see more of that in the future. So here we have a list of irregular verbs. I'm going to show you the other list that I posted on Google Classroom, but you can see that we have be, el verb to be es irregular porque el pasado es was or were, do, did, eat, ate, feel, felt, find, found, get, got, give, gave, go, went, have, had, hear, heard, know, knew, live, left, make, made, read, read. Como les decía de read y read, se escriben igual, pero se pronuncian diferentes, so por eso es irregular. Read in the present, read in the past. Say, said, see, saw, take, took, tell, told, think, thought, write, wrote. So I'm going to show you the other verbs that we have. And then you guys are going to practice. So you guys are going to do this right now. Actually, I might leave it for you to finish after this. So the afternoon students as well. So you're going to study the list. So like I was saying, these are the lists. Esta es una lista de regulares y esta es una lista de regulares. So you can see here that we have some regular verbs. So we have a lot of them and they are in alphabetical order, as you can see. And basically they all end in ed. So what did I... Okay, so yeah, so todos esos son regulares. En este caso solamente se le agrega ed, pero bueno, siguiendo las reglas, por supuesto. So accept, accepted, add, added, admire, admired, etc. And then these ones are the irregulars. So here we have awake, awoke. Esta parte de past participle es algo que veremos en el futuro. No se preocupen por eso. Ahora estamos viendo el base form y el simple past. So awake, awoke, be, was or were, beat, beat. Este caso es igual. Por eso es regular. Become, became, begin, began, bend, bent, etc. So there's a lot of them. So this part is for you to practice. So this was supposed to be for the synchronous activities. And I might leave you that here. So you're going to complete this exercise and this exercise as well. Based on that, okay? So in the case of this one, okay, the case of this one is you put the verb in the past, so play, played, and then you write if it's regular or irregular. So pueden ver las listas que les puse ahí para hacer esto, or you can, search for that in the internet. So in this one, you're going to say, for example, I didn't read a book, I read a newspaper. Aquí, read, está en el pasado, aunque se escribe igual. So they didn't go to Peru, they... ¿Cuál es el pasado de go? Who can tell me? What's the past of go?
When.
So they went to Brazil. She didn't have pizza. She, what's the past of have?
Had.
He had spaghetti. Very good. Etc. So you're going to complete it with the verb there. And then this one is about the simple past as well. Here you have the positive, negative, and the question. So for example, this is the negative. I didn't drink any beer last night. Recuerden que no puedo decir drunk, porque aunque drunk sea el pasado, es negativo. So I didn't drink would be incorrect. So I didn't drink any beer last night, etc. So you guys are going to complete this as well. So let me, so guys, this is everything for today. Any questions or anything to say? Okay, so I will see you tomorrow so we can continue with unit 14, day 2. So complete asynchronous
Did you say my
activities.
name? Like,
Yes, Gloria, it's okay. I noticed that you were having some problems with the internet. You're present. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Complete the asynchronous activities and complete the synchronous activities. You have until 12:30 for the synchronous and until 1 p.m. for the asynchronous. And it's going to be something similar with the afternoon, but you know, till 6:30 and 7 p.m. So bye-bye, everybody. You can unmute yourselves and say goodbye.
bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.